it on? Is it on?
Automatic slide or just a pointer?
Just a pointer.
Just pointer? Yeah. It's on.
It on?
It's fine.
Good afternoon. I would like to thank the organizers for inviting me to give this talk in this wonderful audience. So, the title of my talk is Possible Anti-Pfaffian Pairing of Composite Fermions at Filling Factor 3/8. And this is my affiliation, Indian Association for the Cultivation of Science. This is where Raman effect was invented. And there were collaborators. Sutirtha Mukherjee is my graduate student who is in the audience, and then Professor Oz from Wrocław University in Poland, and Professor Jain in Penn State, United States. This work has been just published yesterday in PRL. So we have heard a good introduction to fractional quantum Hall effect yesterday. So that is good for me, but I will just tell whatever is necessary for my talk. So this picture you have all seen for fractional quantum Hall effect in single layer structures. So these are fractional states: 1/3, 2/5, 3/7, 4/9, and the particle hole conjugate states 2/3, 3/5, and so on and so forth. So 1/3 state is so well described by Laughlin state, and then the other states starting from 1/3 and so forth, and why their 2/5 is less stable than 1/3 and so on and so forth, that may be described by a composite fermion theory. So we first start with the basic Hamiltonian for the fractional quantum Hall effect problem. So this is the Schrodinger equation, so where you have many body Hamiltonian. This is the kinetic part, and then the interaction, and then you have Zeeman coupling. And if I work for very high magnetic field limit, then the kinetic energy is quenched because all electrons in the lowest Landau level, and you can ignore also the Zeeman coupling because in the high magnetic field limit, assume that all electrons have same are polarized. So you can forget about the spin degree of freedom. So you have the Hamiltonian only the Coulomb interaction. And the restriction that we have is, so the Hilbert space is in the lowest Landau level. So there is, so this is the correct term. So there is no perturbation parameter. So this is very difficult to solve. So one way to think about the fractional quantum Hall effect is by composite fermion theory. In this theory, the postulate is that electrons minimize the repulsive interaction by capturing an even number of quantized vortices to form bound states, and which we call them composite fermions. And to a reasonably good approximation, these composite fermions can be considered as weakly interacting, and they form Landau-like levels, so which we call lambda levels, because I will every now and then refer to lambda levels. So those are basically the Landau-like levels for the composite fermions. And then if you have the integer quantum Hall effect of composite fermions, that translate into the fractional quantum Hall effect for electrons. For example, if you have the n lambda levels filled by the composite fermions, which means that n integer quantum Hall effect for composite fermions, that translated into the filling factor 1/2n+1 for electrons, fractional quantum Hall effect for electrons, and if you attach 2 quantum vortices to each electron. If you want to show the pictorially, then you have let's say the electrons, and you have the flux, and then each of the electrons capture 2 fluxes, so to make it a composite fermion, and then they see a reduced flux. So in a sense that if you do mean field theory kind of thing, then the effective field for the composite fermions is reduced by this amount, where n is the electron density, and lambda levels are formed out of this effective magnetic field. So if the filling factor for the composite fermions are nu star, then you have the filling factor nu by nu star by 2 nu star plus 1 for electrons. And if these are integers, then you get the series n by 2 n plus 1. So this is the wave functions for such states n by 2 n plus 1. So it says that you this is called the just 2 factor. The basic means is that you just attached 2 vortices to each particle, and those particles composite fermions, and then they fill integer number of lambda levels. So that is the Slater determinant wave functions for n lambda levels completely filled. And if n greater than 1, then you have a higher lambda level component of here. So finally you have to project in the lowest lambda level, because the actual state is in the lowest lambda level. So that is the wave functions for these filling factors. So what we have studied in spherical geometry, so I will just describe what the things are in the spherical geometry. So n interacting electrons move on the surface of a sphere with 2 capital Q flux passing through it. So that problem n2q, we map that into the n composite fermions with reduced flux 2q star, and that reduced flux is 2q star is a 2q minus 2 times n minus 1 for composite fermions. So that is the reduced flux. Now, and then filling factor is thermodynamically defined as number of particles by number of flux as n goes to infinity. So that is the filling factor. Now for the reduced flux, so we will have lambda levels formed, and so there is a degeneracy on each lambda level. So lambda levels are 0, 1 and 2. So for any lambda level lambda, so these are the quantum numbers in each lambda levels. So if you have a lowest lambda levels, which is corresponds to lambda equals to 0, then it's minus q star to plus q star. So the degeneracy is 2q star plus 1 in this finite system. Now while working in the spherical geometry, so there is 2 angles theta and phi. Instead of working in these 2 angles, we can instead we can define 2 other variables called u and v, which are called spherical spinors. There is a comparison between exact diagonalized energies with these CF predicted energies. So in spherical geometry, so this is energy, Coulomb energy, and then versus the angular momentum in spherical geometry. And these dashed energies are the exact energies at different angular momentums. And the circles are calculated using composite fermion theory. For example, if you have a filling factor 2/5, so then 2 lambda levels are completely filled. And similarly, you can think about composite fermion exciton, like one of the composite fermion you excite into the next lambda level. So that makes the composite fermion exciton. So you can also write down the wave function for that, and you calculate energies using Monte Carlo, and those are those energies. So you can see that the energies from using composite fermion theory matches very well with the exact energies for different filling factors 1/3, 257, 37 for small number of particles, 8, 10, and 12, or so on and so forth. So since the predicted sequence from composite fermion theory n by 2n plus 1 is observed over here, 1/3, 2, 3, 7, 4, 9, and so on and so forth. So in a sense that validates composite fermion theory. So one of the key result from this theory is that so as you move from this way, so this n increases. So if n becomes infinity, then you can see that the filling factor is half. So n means n infinity means the infinite number of lambda levels are filled. So in a sense that is like free composite fermions. So one should not expect any fractional quantization at half filling. So that's what it's observed experimentally also. There is no quantum Hall state at half filling. Um, so the states at half filling, so if you have the flux and particle relations, 2q is 2n minus 2, then the effective flux for the composite fermions is 0. So there is no flux for composite fermions, and that composite fermions at half filling mimic basically electrons at zero magnetic field. So that is they may form a Fabry-like state. So the wave function corresponding to this the state will be, so this is the Jastrow factor for the basically you are attaching two vortices to each particle to make into composite fermions, and those composite fermions making Fermi C, so that is the Fermi C wave function. So this is the wave function for half filling, and this is for this state there is no gap, so there is no quantization of Hall resistance. However, you can have a gap state at half filling, which is written by Moore and Reid, and sometimes it is called a Pfaffian state also because there is a Pfaffian factor over here. So you can understand this state as, so there is a flux attachment 2. There is a 2 flux to each particle, so make it to the composite fermions, and those composite fermions have some kind of condensate state. For that condensate state, this wave function is Pfaffian-like. So Pfaffian is kind of Pfaffian of an antisymmetric matrix. So the Pfaffian is described by this antisymmetrization. So it turns out that state is not valid for the lowest lambda level, but for the filling factor 2 plus half, so that means the second lambda level. Second lambda level we call because 2 means is for the up and down spin is filled up for lowest lambda level, and in the second lambda level is half filled. It turns out that for that state it is a candidate state, and so the 5/2 state is observed. So way back in 1987, and later on also there are better pictures, but it was in 87 there was the first observed 5/2 state is quantized. So as I said that for the 5/2 state is the Moore-Reid state is the candidate state, and it is a gap structure. So it is a Pfaffian form. So this signifies some kind of BCS pairing of composite fermions, so because there is a composite fermion factor over here. So BCS pairing of composite fermions. And this particular form of Pfaffian wave functions represents the P-wave Cooper pairing, chiral P-wave Cooper pairing of composite fermions in half field lambda level. So this kind of pairing occurs for the composite fermions. And that was actually was shown by James Groove that in the second lambda level composite fermions have some kind of P-wave pairing in the second lambda level. And it was also shown that this Pfaffian wave function supports Majorana-Fermionic mode at the edge. And this, because of this Majorana-Fermionic mode, you'll have the excitations will have non-abelian fractional statistics also. It was shown that Pfaffian wave function or the Moore-Reid wave function is the exact ground state wave functions for a 3-body model potential like this. So this kind of for this kind of potential is an exact state. And if so, for electrons in the second lambda level interacting via 2-body interactions, so it turns out that this Pfaffian state and its particle hole conjugate partner is anti-Pfaffian state. Those are degenerate. And if you work in the spherical geometry, this corresponding potential for this thing is what it means is that P3 potentials. So it's in the 3-particle state. It's a pseudo potential 3. It's a 3-particle state pairing state where it's not a pairing state. In the 3-particle state, it's a total angular momentum is 3q minus 3, and so that is the pseudo potential. And for these pseudo potentials, this Moore-Reid state is the exact ground state. But however, for Coulomb interactions, okay, I will come later. So So the 3-bar interaction induced by lambda level mixing, it can occur, that can break particle hole symmetry and selects one of these Pfaffian or anti-Pfaffian kind of state. So if you work in spherical geometry, then the Pfaffian flux corresponds to this kind of flux particle relationship. 2q is 2n minus 3, and for the anti-Pfaffian is 2q is 2n plus 1. This is anti-Pfaffian is the particle hole partner of this Pfaffian state. So both this corresponds to the filling factor half. And remember that flux particle relationship was 2n minus 2 for the Fermi C. So all these difference is that these shifts. So these shifts are important for for understanding of the underlying correlations in the ground state.
Can you write down the anti-Pfaffian state analytically?
I don't know. I don't think it can be written.
Pfaffian is very simple.
Yeah, Pfaffian is very simple. Yeah.
Not so
No, yeah. It is theoretically actually unknown that which of the states are selected by the Coulomb interactions. So there is no, in the absence of any lambda level mixing and so on and so forth. So and there is also the absence of any spontaneous symmetry breaking. And then Professor Das Sharma group actually said that there could be some combination of Pfaffian and anti-Pfaffian pairing also. So in that case, the A structures what was predicted from these theories may not be observed in experiments. There could be some combinations of those kind of pairings. Okay, so with that introduction, I will now describe, motivate what my study is. So this was the experiment in 2003. In this experiment, I just want to point out that between 1/3 and 2/5, so there are a few states are observed. For example, 411, 513, and there is 3/8, and also 6/17. So between 1/3 and 2/5, so the filling factor that you can write down in terms of composite fermion theory is 1 plus mu bar by 2r plus mu bar. So the effective lambda level filling factor is 1 plus mu bar, and mu bar is fractional. So that is 1/3 that corresponds to the 411, 2/3 corresponds to 513, and half corresponds to 3/8. So in these states, all the minimal diagonal resistance is observed. So no quantization is observed yet. So the meaning that the second lambda level is half filled. So there is a more recent experiment. We are aware of this. One of the referee pointed out that about this data. So here it also that a 3/8 state is observed. And there were previous studies about 3/8 states. These two were Professor James Groove. What they studied is that they calculated some kind of two-body effective interaction in the second lambda level and studied those. But if you have two-body interactions, then it's the particle hole symmetry of composite fermions cannot distinguish between Pfaffian and anti-Pfaffian states. And they also had some kind of variational calculations also. Their main conclusion what it could be something like stripe state. And then there was also a numerical diagonalization study using that effective interactions, and the conclusion was that there is no incompressible state possible for that effective interaction. And then so this was the only study after the experiment. This study and this study is before the experiment, or at least around the same time. So here proposal was that there could be some kind of partially spin-polarized pair fractional quantum Hall state, but however the type of magnetic field used in this experiment by Panidel doesn't seem to be, the state is at partially spin polarized level. So what we have studied is something called composite fermion diagonalization method that I will describe now. So the filling factor that we are going to study is 3/8. I said that is 1 plus half. A second lambda level is half filled. So that is the filling factor here. And then, so the reduced flux is 2q star, 2q minus 2 and minus 1. And total number of particles is, this is the full degeneracy in the lowest lambda level, 2q star plus 1. And then n2 number of particles in the second lambda level. And so in the second lambda level, the flux and particle relationship is, I will take from the Pfaffian or anti-Pfaffian type. So lambda is minus 3, so that means it's kind of Pfaffian flux, and if lambda is 1, that is anti-Pfaffian flux. That amounts to the particle and flux relationship like this. So 2q is 8n plus lambda minus 10/3. So in the thermodynamic limit, it corresponds to the filling factor 3/8. And if I do exact diagonalization for such system at different lambdas, so this is possible only up to 14 electrons for Pfaffian flux, when lambda is minus 3, and up to 12 electrons for anti-Pfaffian flux. And we have progressed using composite fermion theory, and which I will describe next. So this is, so let's say we are in the anti-Pfaffian flux, 2n2 is 2q2 plus 1. What we have done is, we first diagonalize the Coulomb Hamiltonian at the filling factor 3/2. Keeping the lowest lambda level fully occupied. Sorry. And so what we obtain is a total basis states at different angular momentum. We could have done it for other interactions. So the basic point is just to get the basis states, and then the composite fermion fermionize those basis states by applying the Jastrow factor. So this is the basis states in the composite fermion state. And while projected in the lowest lambda level, so these states are not orthogonal. So what we did is we orthogonalize these states using Gram-Schmidt procedure, and we calculate matrix elements using the Coulomb matrix elements by Monte Carlo method. And at the diagonalized basis, we diagonalize the Coulomb Hamiltonian, and we got the eigenenergies using composite fermion theory. And as usual, so what he did is this is the energy, Coulomb energy versus angular momentum. The dash energies are the exact energies, and the dots are the energies calculated using this method. So what we can see that, so this it has a good match between exact energies. So not only this good match, it also captures the difference between the Pfaffian flux and anti-Pfaffian flux. Normally in half filling you have Pfaffian and anti-Pfaffians are degenerate, and you will seeing the peaks, the energy state, you can see that there is an asymmetry between Pfaffian and anti-Pfaffian flux. And our method captures that difference as well. So this is for the Pfaffian flux and this is for anti-Pfaffian flux. And we cannot go beyond this particle with exact diagonalization. We demonstrate here that 3/8 is an incompressible state, also fully polarized, and there is a possibility of chiral pairing for the composite fermions in the second lambda level, and possibly the pairing is like anti-Pfaffian like. So for as I said that the pairing could be anti-Pfaffian like. To demonstrate that, what we did is we chose two trial states. So this, so you can diagonalize the B3 Hamiltonian, which is exact state for the Pfaffian and anti-Pfaffian. So you can, by diagonalizing, you can find it out, and then you composite Fermionize it to make it to 3/8. So that is the trial state 1. And another state, you diagonalize the Coulomb Hamiltonian at 3/2 and found the ground state, and then composite Fermionize it, and which is called the trial 2 state. And then we took the overlap between these states with the states that we have found by the composite Fermion diagonalization method, and which is that ground state. So these are the overlaps. So this is for the Pfaffian flux, and this is for the anti-Pfaffian flux. And so O1 means the overlap between this state and the trial 1 state, and O2 means overlap between this state and the trial 2 state. And these are the energies per particle using the trial 1 state, trial 2 state, and the composite Fermion diagonalized state. So basically you can see that for anti-Pfaffian, so the overlap is quite high. It's not very high, but it is reasonable that we can this kind of overlap we also encounter for the 5/2 state as well. And the energies are also close. So to describe how complex this proposed 3/8 state is, so first what we do for electrons at 3/8, capture 2 vortices to become 2 composite fermions, I mean 2 CFs, meaning that 2 vortices to each composite fermion at filling factor 1 plus half. And those composite fermions in the half filled second lambda level capture 2 additional vortices to transform into 4 composite CFs, meaning 4 composite fermions to those selected composite fermions. And those composite fermions will have no net magnetic field. So there is a Fermi C, and what happens is that Fermi C of these 4 CFs becomes unstable for the pairing of chiral P-wave channel, and that creates a gap to produce the fractional quantum Hilbert at 3/8. Yeah. What I said is that there could be anti-Pfaffian type of pairing for fractional quantum Hilbert 3/8, with the caution that we make here that although the method employed here is extremely accurate, but the systems up to which that we studied up to 24 particles may not capture a true nature of the thermodynamic phase. With this caution, what we want to tell is that some kind of ramification with the experiments. So in the transport measurement, so Pan-et al. In 2003 observed the resistance minima at 3/8, but there is no observation of Hall plateau yet. But 2003 to 2013, in 10 years, I believe that the system quality has been improved a lot. So we believe that there could be observation plateau may be observed at fractional quantum Hilbert 3/8, and that will prove that incompressibility at 3/8. And like NMR or optical experiments that have been performed for 5/2 may also be repeated here to see that the polarization is 100%. And so to prove that the pairing is kind of chiral P-wave, so if one measures the quasi-particle charge, the charge will be E over 16 at 3/8 state. And so there was no resolution of Pfaffian or anti-Pfaffian type of pairing in the 5/2 state, but by similar argument over here, we can give for the 3/8 anti-Pfaffian state. So if you find the A structure, if you have a Pfaffian type of pairing, so then you have a 3/2 for the composite fermions, 3/2 Pfaffian, then 1 and then 0. That goes to 3/8 for Pfaffian and 1/3 and 0. And if you have a anti-Pfaffian correlation for composite fermions, so 3/2 FEF to 2 to 1 to 0, that goes to 3/8 to 2/5, 1/3 and 0, and so on. And so this is the age structures. So the age between 3/8 and 2/5, that supports so-called upstream chiral bosons as well as Majorana fermions. Since we have shown that APF's anti-Pfaffian type of state is the state for the 3/8, so there will be a chance to observe upstream Majorana fermion mode in 3/8 state. And by their argument, we can also calculate thermal conductivity for these two type of correlations. So for Pfaffian, it will be at this age it will be 1 plus half, because there is one chiral boson and one Majorana mode, so that's 1 plus half, and at this age there will be 1 for the chiral boson, so there will be 5/2 for Pfaffian. And for the anti-Pfaffian correlations, because it's a upstream, it will be -1 and -half for the bosons as well as Majorana fermions. And there are two other boundaries, and those two boundaries will be bosonic modes, +1 and +1, that gives to the half for the anti-Pfaffian type of states in the unit of this. So that is the thermal conductivity of 3/8 will be look like. So in summary, we have seen that by a powerful technique, what we call the composite fermion diagonalizations, we have shown that the fully polarized incompressible fractional quantum Hall effect state is possible at the filling factor 3/8 in the lowest Landau level, and we have shown that anti-Pfaffian type chiral POA pairing is possible here for the composite fermions in the second lambda level. We also discussed some experimental verifications to find the nature of the fractional quantum Hall state at 3/8. And at conclusion, that we mention that the existence of even derivative fractional quantum Hall effect state at the lowest lambda level is itself is an interesting in its own right, because it's an even elevator at the lowest lambda level, and it also will be an interesting state to study as a pairing state of composite fermions, like 5/2 and so and other states. Thanks.
Questions?
In the case of one half paired Hall state, experimentally it was looked for in 5 half.
Yeah.
Going to the next lambda level, so that matrix elements are appropriate and so on. So is there any similar here by going to the next lambda level? 1 plus 3/8.
There is a possibility of 2 plus 3/8, because 1 plus 2 plus 3/8. Yeah.
2 plus.
Yeah. So 2 plus 3/8 state is also observed actually.
Is observed.
Yes.
Any other questions? So if there are no other questions, let's thank both the speakers for the session, and we have a small memento to the speakers from the organizers. So thank you very much. And Mandal. Yes, boss. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Finishing right on time, really, or we are 10 minutes late. Sorry. So we meet half an hour from now for the Chandrasekhar lecture. Thank you.